Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to a very special video. So this video is to explain why there's no Satisfactory this week, and possibly even the next week, depending on when a patch comes out for Satisfactory. So Satisfactory recently released a patch to experimental build, as you can see in the top left hand corner, for Smart Splitters. Smart Splitters now have an overflow option. So if you didn't remember the old system we basically had a 33% shrinkage, or 33% loss in the system. It's very unfortunate. We're basically losing out on a third of everything, our ores and our finished product. Now with this new system of overflow, we don't lose out on anything unless we have too much of it, which is perfect. Still need to figure out a good buffer system to kind of weed out stuff that's being overproduced, like plates currently in the current system. But I think I figured out a way to clean out the system, so to speak. I'll get into that later. But yeah, so the new overflow system. So previously to this, you can see this is my my test world, so that I can pretty much produce or make anything I want, unlimited quantities, and just figure things out, tweak things, play around with them a little bit. So in this one, prior to, in the old system, well, the current system, before we actually get the experimental patches, then move to the stable build, currently, so for example, our sulfur here goes to the left and goes to the right. And then goes to the left and then just continues on. And continues forward, blah, 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 and then loops back on itself, comes up along the second line, and then goes in the second input here. So that way we get to keep more than 50%. We actually get to keep 66% of our overall goods. And then the overflow leaks over, goes into the sink, and then whatever doesn't get into the sink kind of comes back into the system. So I think the actual numbers are, it's less than 33, but in my eyes still, I look at it as worst case scenario, it's 33%. Best case scenario, I think it's like 16 or 17% that we lose, but I digress, because it only basically it's 50% of 33%, so it's 16 or something percent that we actually lose. But here is how the new system works, and actually how it completely removes that factor. So the new system has an overflow option. So what happens is we can actually remove our entire top layer and replace it with an overflow layer, which is what I've done here. So the bottom in the main smart splitter on the left says sulfur goes to the left. If I have extra sulfur, aka overflow, so you select the overflow option and it will go to the right, only if it can't send sulfur to the left. And then you tell it anything undefined goes to the next smart splitter. So now sulfur fills up this and this, fills this line up, and instead of going forward and then just going into our sink, which is now over there, it will come up here and just continue on this belt while all the other things do the exact same thing. Meaning that the only time we lose something now is if we have too much of it. Which, if you have too much of something, that's not a problem. No big deal. So, with the new design system, probably every X amount of playthroughs, or X amount of loads and gameplays and stuff, we'll get certain things building up a little bit. Like our current system, we have plates flooding our network, flooding our system. With this new built-in system, we can turn the network off and have it flow through and clean out all our access plates, rods, screws, ores, you name it, and it'll clean it out for us. And it's going to do two ways. Number one is this way here. So this is the ore specific system. So what we have is our ores coming in, 9 of the 10 8. Yeah, 8-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 9 of the 10 ores. Technically, or 9, we technically have the 9 ores. We have deuterium, bauxite, quartz, uranium, which I don't have mined right now, sulfur, iron ore, copper ore, limestone, and coal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have 9 ores altogether coming in and being split up properly between each one. Once again, I said no uranium. I've only got 8 going on. Uranium in this case, funny enough, will actually be not even needed. The reason why it's not going to be needed is actually very simple. We're not going to be doing anything nuclear. So we can skip uranium altogether. We don't need uranium. So we basically only need 8 inputs. And that's it. So we can cut back on our inputs a lot. So you have basically 2 lines, right? One of 4, and one of 4. Or just have, like I do at the moment, because this isn't the most efficiently designed. It's just, I think this is Caterium, iron, copper, and limestone coming down this line. And then this one is sulfur, quartz. Oh, there's also coal there too. So there's 5 on this line and then 3 on this one. It's sulfur, quartz, and bauxite. So theoretically, if I had one of these tied into this line here, we'd have 2 different lines of 4. Anyway, things would be a little bit more balanced at that point, but I digress. So the idea would be pretty simple, actually, because we don't need too many goods coming in here, because this is just the raw stuff. And on the left side will be the smelting process. So iron is going off with coal to become steel. Iron is going off on its own to become iron. Caterium's becoming caterium ingots. Bauxite is being produced for aluminum, which I just realized I don't remember how to make aluminum off the top of my head. But yeah, so everything's going this way. Limestone for concrete, etc., etc. Then we would have our factory over behind everything, like we do right now, and have the line coming in this way. Now here is where the new system changes. It would loop in on the 2nd floor, so just above this floor here, where we have our current 2nd stage of smart splitters. We would have our mergers to get rid of our overflow, but the next level up, which would actually be, I think it's 2 up? Yeah. It has to be right there. This line would actually be for, and this is the best part, finished goods. So we would have a layer of finished goods coming in there. Our mergers here to get rid of our overflow. And then right here is our raw goods. So our raw goods would be on this side of the factory. Keep things separate. Like over here would be, say, all our raw goods, or finished goods. And then go all the way down. Yeah, there's a lot of finished goods. Where all those finished goods go do their own thing. That's how we would kind of separate those. So they would come in separate, kind of around, go across everything, and bypass obviously the raw goods section, being over there, and go into the finished goods section, which would then actually go into our factory. So our factory is going to have basically, well, technically 3 sections. Section number 1 is raw good refinement and production. So this is where we would produce our ingots, our steel, you name it, our good stuff. Second stage will be oil. So basically we would just have a bunch of oil being piped into the base, and probably, to be honest with you, they're probably just going to make a separate base for that, just have things shipped in by belts. The reason for that is just for rates, because trains and trucks destroy the frame rate. And trucks are retarded. They bounce all over the place, and they despawn and respawn, and trains destroy your frame rate. So belts, there you go. Because if they're not on screen, they're not there technically, and your frame rate stays good. But yeah, so we would have a location, and all they would be doing basically is producing over here. It's just the 2 things they need to produce, which would be rubber and plastic. Because we're not going to need, well, actually, maybe the petroleum coke. I have to look to see. Maybe the petroleum coke as well. But in the end, they just be producing rubber and plastic. And that's it. That's all the things we would actually need from this entire oil system. And the reason for that is actually very, very simple. We don't need oil for power. We're going to be using coal for power and geysers for power. Geysers the thing everyone forgets about. There's a whole bunch of geysers, I think, over here and then over here. Geysers are amazing for power. People keep forgetting about them. Right now, I'm actually running every single geyser in the game is currently being used, and I am making, there you go, 1.6 megawatts of power. We're only using 200 to 300, and the only thing we're actually using right now is it for this. With the new system, it's also more power efficient because every machine will be completely full and completely running all the time. So, I'll get into all that later when we actually go to make the actual base itself, and I'll show you why it's a lot better. But once again, we'll have coal, which is behind us here. That will actually be running for us, and we won't have to worry too much about power. Like maybe I might slip into some fuel powered fuel generators, maybe because we'll have a lot of excess oil, so I might actually throw in some, just as a maybe as an emergency system, or even depending, I might have actually even done all my numbers wrong, and I might actually need to do fuel power. I know fuel power does produce more power than coal, but the only thing we're going to need coal for is making iron, and that's not a big deal. So yeah, so overall, the new system for the smart splitters is going to completely overhaul the current build. A couple people messaged me, a couple people asked in the last video what is going to happen with the new smart splitters, with the new overflow option and all that stuff. And well, as you can see, I'm redesigning the entire thing immediately. It won't take too long to actually modify the original base. It'll just be a matter of just tweaking the little things here and there just to make sure that everything fits. I am going to do a massive overhaul. Actually, we will load up and I'll show you. Save this. We will load. I didn't realize that I was in an online world. Mental note. We'll load up our other world here. Might take me a second to... Oh. I think it may have froze. Oh no, I'm getting a firewall message. That was weird. There we go. Secondary monitors are on. So, right now, as you can see, we're basically getting backlogged pretty good. So the plan for the buffer is going to go right about here. And as you can see, we're losing out on some stuff over here. It's going to run down. So right now, it's got to be set to like any define, but I think we have the none right now. Also got to fix this weirdness going on here. There we go. I screwed that up. Yeah, so right now, we don't need this. Once I redo all this, we won't need, we won't need a second line, which will be good. The only thing that'll be on this bottom line here, in this bottom row, is going to be raw goods. Right now we won't have to worry about having something like this, our sink, where we need to basically get rid of excess goods and material. Yeah, you've been disconnected for now. And the network's kind of cleaning itself out. So, the plan will be instead, and in the future, to build in a buffer at this end. Do I have the ability? I don't think this is... Oh no, I do have the thing still turned back on. Okay. I won't save it though, just so that it doesn't break. Which makes me remember gameplay. Is there a never? Oh, okay, good. So I want to make sure that was set so that you never save. So right now this whole... Interesting. Wasn't expecting that as a problem. So the plan will be to do something like... Then all we would need to do, disconnect it from the network here, and just let that fill. Let it do its thing, and then, you know, go in and clean things out of that end. That's an option. Whether it's a good one or not, I don't know. But yeah, so all this has to be redone and ripped out, basically, and replaced. A lot of this stuff down here is going to get ripped out and replaced, because I am still getting... basically backlogs and stuff. So as you can see here, we're getting the backlog in iron. I sold that and said there. Stuff can go through, do its own little thing, and what have you. So a lot of this needs to be rebuilt. We'll figure it all out. Yeah. But that's it for this one. See you next time. Bye-bye.